investigating what's been happening at this Southeast Dallas dental clinic, because now there are six children over a period of 6 months, each saying they were paid $10 to get in one of these unmarked vans, taken to this Southeast Dallas office, and drilled without their parents' permission.
Kids tell us their school bus dropped them off here, and typically they'd come up to the convenience store either in the afternoon or after school, and here the recruiter would meet them.
I knew some friends who went there before, and they said that they picked them up at the store and went up there and they got the $10 and
Iki Gray already had braces on her teeth from another dentist, but she says she was picked up by All About Dentistry last month. She says she was given gas and then 7 fillings in her teeth. She says the receptionist at the clinic seemed to want to keep the Medicaid dental work a secret from Kiki's parents.
She was like, you don't have those kind of parents who will come up here and complain or do anything like that, right?
This is Dental Land, built by a dentist who made a fortune from the Medicaid dental program in one of Dallas's poshest neighborhoods, with water slides and a lazy river. It'll use 6.5 million gallons of water, so much it has its own well. It peeks through the trees into neighbors' yards. The latest edifice in the empire of Medicaid dentist Dr. Richard Maloof. That's him in the Bentley, emerging from behind his iron gates. When he spots us taking his picture, he calls Dallas police. Within seconds, the police arrive, telling us we're just fine where we are. These boys were picked up in their neighborhood, taken to a dentist's office in Mesquite, and given unnecessary treatment under Medicaid. You may have seen it on News 8. Lieutenant Governor David Dewhurst and State Senator Jane Nelson saw it too.
People who are hanging out in front of elementary schools, approaching mamas saying, you know, would you like braces on your child?
Today, Nelson introduced Senate Bill 8, which is designed to clamp down on Medicaid recruiting.
It strengthens the prohibitions against solicitations for Medicaid clients. We heard story after story about that, and we are going to prohibit that and make sure that that does not take place.
Here to accept the DuPont baton for WFAA TV's Denticade, please join me in welcoming investigative reporter Byron Harris.
Us going, it keeps us trying harder, it keeps us after very difficult things year after year. The dentist who did that is still practicing. Tonight I want to talk about something, you've all heard about the military-industrial complex. I want to talk about the medical-industrial complex. The lobbying power, the many hats the medical profession wears, always appearing to advocate for the patient. In many cases, they're advocating for themselves. Hospitals, doctors, insurance companies, people we all really trust most of the time, often have other motives and other agendas. Tell a fellow journalist you're working about Medicaid fraud, and they say, what's new about that? I'll tell you, there are so many forms, so many changes, the rules change, bad people try to get around those rules, it goes on and on and on. There seems to be nothing to stop it. Our journey through the Medicaid system for the past 2.5 years has taught us nobody seems to monitor the costs. The state doesn't monitor the costs. The federal government doesn't monitor the costs. We would continually call state and federal offices and say, we need these numbers, and say, we don't keep track of that. That'll cost you $500. Freedom of information requests are not cheap, and we had to make them again and again and again. In Texas, the state rarely prosecutes Medicaid fraud. The biggest case recently was a $300 million fraud. And the word from the people who investigate this stuff now, or the prosecutors who appear before the press when the prosecution is announced, say we have new computer systems that will allow us to track these problems like we've never done before. But the reality is, computer programs don't seem to work, and it always gets down to someone on the inside telling the people who need to know what's going on. And I want introduce you to someone tonight who did that. Her name is Dr. Christine Ellis, and after she saw our stories, she went to the state and became a whistleblower. Dr. Ellis, will you stand up, please? I guarantee you no one in Texas is applauding Dr. Ellis tonight. Now, there are dozens of cases underway in Texas, none of them criminal. We don't know what the outcome will be. For my part, I'm thankful to WFAA for letting me do this. To my colleagues, Jason Trahan and Billy Bryant, who were always behind me. And without them, I wouldn't be here. Thank you.
Said sunlight is the best disinfectant, and that is never more true when the subject sexual assault is